Hello, everyone, and welcome to another talk here. So we're going to look at Prelude to a Kiss today and work through the chord changes. I was thinking about tunes and heard this one over the speaker the other day. I thought with great changes. And great tune. So this is a Duke Ellington piece. I think there's a lot to be gained from analyzing this one. So we're going to take that, play, learn a little bit about the chord progression here. So I'll start out by doing a little playing. Okay, so let's start out by taking a look at the changes here and the overall form, and go from there. So I'm going to start out by taking a look at some really key spots, no pun intended, but let's take a look at, and these are just some concepts that you could take into your own analysis on anything. So if we check out, let's say, the last chord, let's say, of the first eight measures, right? So we can see that we land on C there. And then if we go and we look another 8 measures, we see that we get pretty much the same progression. And we also resolve to C. And then you see we're pointing in a different direction here. Go to E. All right. So that's a pretty telling spot. Where is it resolving to after 8 bars, or where is it tending to kind of go? And then we go back to the very end, and we see that we have C again. All right, so we'll start digging in a little deeper here. You can see that we have this this progression here of D9 with the G, say G9, C7. Okay. So we're thinking, we're in the key of C, so it's a little different here. It's C7, right? Okay, and then we have F major 7. So we're going to the key of the 4. And you can see that we have a circle of fifths here. And that's all pointing us towards F, which is the key of the 4 chord. Okay, so we get the 4, the F, we kind of walk backwards. 5 of 4, the C. And it's just kind of a cascading kind of thing. Okay, so circle of fifths there, D, G, C7, and then ending up on the 4 chord. Okay, and then so just kind of looking at that progression there. Okay, so we get to that F major. So let's do something kind of similar here. So we see that we end up on D minor. Okay, so that's the 2 in C. It's a A7. Call that the 5 of the 2. And see, we're just kind of cascading 5 of 5s there. So we have circle of fifths into the D minor. Kind of interesting there, right, too, because F major is a relative major, the key of 1 flat. D minor is the relative minor, the key of 1 flat. So it's interesting that it doesn't quite establish C there, but a closely related key. All right, and then we get this D minor to the G7. Okay, and there are variations of this progression where it could go to C. So we finally kind of get to C, but the maybe progression I was playing was more G sharp diminished to the A minor, and then the D dominant 7. So there, we get this kind of C finally, kind of moving in the direction of C. We get a 2, 5. But then we start seeing, G or key of 1 sharp, right? The 2, 5 in G. So far we've happened upon key of 1 flat, or a suggested kind of key of 1 flat with that C7, and also the A7 going to the D minor. And then we have key of no flats, no sharps with the C, and then the key of 1 sharp, right? So kind of working in that circle of fifths on both sides of the C. Key of no sharps, no flats. Right, and then we're back to C with the 2, 5, 1, and C. And it's interesting there too, and I was trying to hint at that melody note as I was playing through earlier, where we have this A flat on the G7, and then gets to C, C major, and then playing A natural. Right? So that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. All right, and then the next 8 bars are pretty much the same. So maybe we'll do a little playing break here. And then we'll get back to our analysis. So we can hear how we have these little voice leading kind of lines. Okay, we can follow the sevenths and the thirds. Okay, we also have this melodic line that follows a similar kind of pattern, but kind of in a shorter length of time, I guess you could say. All right, and then hopefully you kind of heard that flat 9 on the G7 over to the C major. All right, so let's get back to our analysis here. So like I said earlier, the progression repeats the overall form, I'd say, is A, A, B, A. So we follow that same progression. And then the second A is going to set up this 2, 5, going to E major. So far we've had these tonal areas that have not been all that different from one another. but now we're heading into key of E major. So that is quite a bit different, but what does it have in common? Well, it has E in common, right? Because that's in that key. But we have these other 4 sharps. So those are kind of interesting places to move to, like key of, let's say, A flat major or E major, because they have something in common, but there's kind of a pretty stark contrast. All right, so we're clearly in that key throughout the bridge here. So we have a 1, 6, 2, 5, which repeats, or you could do a 3 flat 3 diminished, but 1, 6, 2, 5. And then that is of our progression there. So 1, 6, 2, 5. Okay, and then we start to cycle back. So we have we could play E7, we could play E minor, but we start to get back to C. It's starting to wanting to go back. So we have 3, 5, then 2. So you might think, in some of those areas there, we might think, okay, 3, 6. Now you might think, okay, well, then a 2, 5, right? Circle of 6th, circle of 5th, excuse me. 3, 6, 2, 5. But we have to remember that the A section doesn't start on C, so he's got this clever way of getting back to that. So we get a 3, 6, and then a 2. And then, so kind of moving up and then kind of falling back down. So moving up by half step and moving down by half step to land on that D there. All right. And so that leads us back to there. So let's do a little playing around on the bridge there. Just get a sense for it. Okay. So we can have the certain chord quality of the F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and then we can also have this chord quality of F minor 7 with a natural 5. So keep an ear out for some of those changes as we go through. All right, so that is pretty much the tune there. So the last A, we have the same progression again here, and as the first A, right? So we have A B, A form. All right, so we'll do a little more playing here, and then I call it a day. I am going to set up some backing tracks and stuff for this, but I have not done that just yet. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for checking out this video. So I did have this on live stream video, and also recording this for the podcast. Thanks for checking this out, and I will see you all in the next one.